We just want to say thank you to WCBL and the Weyburn Beavers and the Saskatoon Berries. I mean, I know we're kind of out of the way, and I know they took a little bit of a risk maybe coming here, but I think everybody walks out of here feeling pretty proud of, pretty happy with the event.
Welcome to episode 395 of Alberta Dugout Stories, the podcast. I'm Joe McFarland. What a Friday it was in Cardiff as the Western Canadian Baseball League came to the town and put on a show for the second annual Rural Roots Baseball Classic. A massive tip of the cap to everyone involved in organizing yet another memorable day in celebrating the past, present, and future of baseball in Cardiff and southeastern Saskatchewan. Last year's inaugural event in Oyen was fantastic, and this season's was another spectacle with a packed house coming to see the Saskatoon Berries and Weyburn Beavers do battle. And while the Berries walked away with an 18-0 victory, fans were still left with smiles on their faces, seeing something they don't get to see every day. We'll hear from organizers and players in a moment, but first, let's catch up with our own Ian Wilson, who was in Cardiff for the big day. Ian, welcome as always, and thanks for hopping on.
Thank you for having me.
Paint a picture for us. How was the Rural Roots Classic out in Cardiff?
You know what? This is quickly becoming one of my favorite events, one of the favorite league events in the Western Canadian Baseball League. In the last 2 years, I've gotten to do road trips to Oyen and now Cardiff, Saskatchewan, and that may not be everyone's cup of tea, but I actually really do like going to these different corners of different provinces that you're not always going to get to go visit. I certainly have done the Calgary to Edmonton drive, and Calgary Medicine-Hat, Calgary Lethbridge enough times in my life. This was a nice little trip to a different part of the world, and Cardiff just did, they, pardon the pun, knocked it out of the park in terms of hosting it and what they did. It was just a really impressive weekend, and in some, there's some things that got a little hairy at times, but they navigated it very well.
Well, and one of the things that obviously got a little bit hairy, you can attest to this, and based on the pictures from the batting practice, the wind seemed to be a little bit of a factor, but that's all right, because you can never control situations like that, right? And, I mean, you got a chance to talk to a lot of people. How did they enjoy the festivities and the opportunity to do something a little different?
Yeah, and touching on the wind, when I pulled up to the ballpark, it was, pick your favorite Sandy movie, whether it's Lawrence of Arabia or Tatooine from Star Wars or Dune. It was the gusts were coming in and the players were fighting. The wind gusts were 60 to 70 kilometers an hour, and the difference being at that diamond, the WCBL ballparks, by and large, it's not a shale dirt infield. There's grass there, or whatever else is available. So it really was just getting a lot of dust in everyone's face. So I had some concerns seeing that. But one of the beauties of a smaller town, Blair Beck, one of the organizers there, calls up the fire department. Hey, we need a little bit of water for the infield, and got a good dousing of the infield, and that really helped. And it remained a windy game, but it was much better in terms of eating dirt during in the dugouts and in the bleachers. So sorry, to get back to your original question, just in the people I talked to, the town was just so proud to show off what they have there, the diamonds they have. It's part of a diamond complex they have. And one little anecdote, the next morning when I left on Saturday, it was raining throughout the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Newsflash for prairie people, this weekend. And so it was raining, and I look out. My hotel was right beside the ballpark. Open the window. They were playing on the diamond, not just on one diamond. At the complex, there was multiple teams and players either practicing or playing games. So it's a different, hardier stock out there. I think they were going to let a little bit of rain to detour things for them. Mm-hmm. And I think they were just really thrilled with showing off the community. If you've seen pictures, the Weyburn Beavers had specialty uniforms that were done up. They said Cardiff on the back where the nameplate is, and they had grain elevators and just really sharp-looking jerseys to pay homage to the community and the event. And it was great. The score could have been a little bit better. It was 18-0 for Saskatoon, but in terms of an event, it was just phenomenal and well attended as well. There was between 600 and 700 people who came out, probably at least safe to say 650 from Cardiff and the surrounding area showed up. And where you drive into the Diamond there, we had cars backed up, kind of shades of Field of Dreams, trying to get into the Diamond. So it was just great to see.
Fantastic. Give me a sense as to what some of the players are talking about. What was the vibe in the respective dugouts?
Yeah, you know what? I remember talking to even Murdoch after the game. I was like, what was this atmosphere like? And he's like, it really felt like the fans were on top of you a bit. Like they were an intimate setting, and they were really close. There's a beer garden that was right beside the third base line, which was well attended. And, I think, some of the players had played there. Some of them had not. Some of them had been like, I haven't actually played this Diamond, but I played around here.
Right.
So it's familiar territory. And, there's a Saskatchewan pride there. They love showing that off. We've seen that in our travels. Like, a lot of times people in Saskatchewan, they feel the Alberta, I don't want to call it Big Brother, but the sibling that gets the attention, right? And whether that's facilities or squeaky wheel or whatever you want to call it. Saski can work up some good competitiveness and be like, hey, we've got good things out here. We've got good facilities. We love the way of life out here. We love the sport, the baseball. We're thrilled to show it off.
For sure. You mentioned him earlier, but when I mentioned the words Blair Beck and his crew, what can be said about them and the volunteers that really made this game shine?
Just really in control from the get-go. And I say that, there's Jody Wall and Blair Beck were my main points of contact with that event. Keel Samuel with the Sylvan Lake Gulls was also heading the committee there, and he was very helpful, just making sure everyone was doing what they were supposed to in preparing for this. And from the earliest Zoom calls, like they were just on top of everything. It was very well organized, and Blair had a finger in all aspects of it. Like he was the one when the wind was gusting, painting the lines on, which was no easy task. You got a lot of chalk flying all over the place. So he was doing that, and he's the one making the call to the fire chief to bring some water to the infield, and just making sure everyone was where they were supposed to be, doing what they're supposed to be. Brittany Sparwood with Weyburn Beavers, can't forget the work that they did to make sure that as a home team things were run well as well. So just hats off to the community and to the teams involved, just in making sure that it came off without a hitch.
Final question for you, Mr. Wilson, and you and I have talked off air. We've texted back and forth on this. I've got an editorial coming out in the next couple of days around what's next for the WCBO Rural Roots Classic. And spoiler alert, I'm going Central Alberta. And I can't take credit for it either because Ian's the one that brought up the community's name. Although there's a few options on the table, I'll let you go with this. And how do you feel about where this event goes in 2027?
I think there's no shortage of options. If assuming it comes to Alberta, because it was in Saskatchewan last year, there's a place, Diamond in Vauxhall, which is very good quality. That's one option that's out there that the league is very familiar with. And some players who come through there and ties there. Drumheller has come off as a very scenic location. I'm not sure Not sure if the diamonds are good enough there, but I don't want to speak too much to that. Croz's Pass is scenic. Central Alberta, there's some options, and there's some history. Places like Pinoca and Lacombe, they were old barnstorming spots. Pinoca is known for its stampede, but it's also got some good ball diamonds around too. Then you rattle off places like Barhead, great history there. Hank Aaron went to Barhead back in the day. I remember writing a story about that. He wasn't playing there, obviously, but he went through there. Lloydminster has come up. Great like border town. You could have some fun with the provincial rivalry in a spot like that. Grand Prairie, Peace River. There's no shortages of communities, and I hope we see a situation where now that this event has happened a few times, and we've seen the excitement around it, not just on the day of the events. Like this thing really builds, and word of mouth builds, and this becomes a rallying point for a lot of these communities. So I'd love to see a situation where, communities are bidding. I don't mean in a financial sense. I mean for attention and for the opportunity to show off what they can do and just be like, kind of like the Jays Care Foundation and some of the things they do. Hey, we're up for this. We really want to do it. We really want to show off what a great community we have, and we want to see some WCBL action in our town. We think we'd be ready for it and put on a great show. So I hope we can get that kind of movement going forward. It's a signature event for the league, and it should only grow from here in terms of the excitement around it.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better. I will throw a few more community names out there. Again, go to albertadugoutstories.com, Saskatchewan Dugout Stories in the days ahead, because we're going to have the official editorial that I'm going to write on this. Lac La Biche in Alberta, I know, had a pretty buzzing scene. It's got a couple of pretty famous people that happen to be from that area that are in baseball world right now. And out on the Saskatchewan side, I'm still a big fan of bringing back the communities from yesteryear in the Saskatchewan Major Baseball League. I'm thinking about you, Kindersley. I'm thinking about you, Eston. And one other one in Saskatchewan that I've heard some rumblings about, maybe Moosomin. So stay tuned. I don't think you're going to get an announcement anytime in the near future by any stretch, but I think you might be able to get a little bit more buzz going and maybe some communities going, hey, we could do that too, based off of the great photos that Ian took, some of the video that we saw on Access TV in Saskatchewan. Job well done, everyone. Blair Beck, Jody Wall, the whole crew out in Cardiff. Ian Wilson, you did a spectacular job as well. Thanks so much for joining us here on the show. And again, tip of the cap on the great photos.
Thank you, Joe.
Now, as mentioned, Ian was able to chat with many out in Cardiff, and we'll start with a couple of the players. First up is Barrie's outfielder Ethan Murdoch, who had himself a solid game. Being from another smaller community like Swift Current, the Marshall University senior also understands how big of a deal it was for Cardiff. And a word of warning for the next 3 interviews, that wind was something else over the weekend, and we unfortunately couldn't avoid it, so we apologize for the extra noise it caused.
Walk me through today. You're a Saskatchewan guy. You played for Swift Current. You grew up in the area. You're playing for Saskatoon now. Had you been to Cardiff playing as a kid?
No, not Cardiff. I played in Estevan, Weyburn a lot. In the area, but no, never here.
What was it like just coming to the area? You obviously know the area a bit.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Really cool. It's a nice little town. People here are super nice. Right when we got here, they fed us and they took care of us. Our whole community's out here working on the field and getting ready for this thing, so it was cool. People here were really receptive of having us, and it was really cool to be here. Yeah.
Anything stand out just with the fan engagement? It's a little bit different than being in Saskatoon, and just obviously the ballpark. It's always a little different here, right?
Yeah, no doubt. I felt like the fans were really close, which is kind of cool. And there's a lot of people here for the size of the town, and the size of the park. It felt like a big crowd just because there's not a ton of seats here. It was pretty full. I liked how everybody was real close. The pack stop, fans were right in there. So yeah, it felt like you're kind of saying, it felt like playing growing up. Little smaller surroundings around the park, but that gives it a little more character. The people right around it.
How did BP go for you?
Yeah, it was tough. I don't know if you're here by that point.
I rolled up when it was
tough. The wind was blowing in probably about 70 kilometers an hour, so it was tough. We probably, I think we took 2 or 3 rounds. my group, and we were just like, you know what, that's about all we can do today. Tough to get the ball out of the dirt today, but yeah, it was okay. It definitely got better as the day went on. From that point, that we were a little worried there in BP.
Yeah, I was too. I saw something I hadn't seen a lot of at BP, and that was guys bunting, working on their bunts.
Yeah.
I assume that's just to get a little bit of a feel for it.
For sure, we were trying to keep the ball down today at BP, no doubt.
Yeah. Walk me through you've been hitting the ball well. I know it's only a couple games in, but what's working well for you at the plate?
Yeah, I just feel free right now. I don't really have too much going on mechanically or in terms of approach-wise right now. I'm just getting in there trying to be loose and be on time, and it's going well. It was nice having some time off after school season. I had about a week off, so just kind of got away from myself and more just into the game, trying to help the team win and just enjoy it, have fun. And I think that's what it comes back to right now is I'm just trying to play free and enjoy my time out here. I'm getting older, so this getting down to the last few times I get to play, or the last for sure summer I get to play. So I'm just trying to enjoy every day I have out here and take the pressure off myself, because really I've tried hard for the last 4 years or 4.5 years now to be a good player, and that doesn't always help. So why not try it the other way around? And I think it's going well for me right now.
Talk to me about being on the Berries this year. Like, you guys, you came out of the gate strong in year one. Last year you set the wins record. Carter Beck was doing Carter Beck things. Ethan Menard's MVP last year.
Yeah.
You don't have those guys back. And you just talked about not putting pressure on yourself, but from a team or an outward perspective, it looks like you have more pressure to kind of be a leader on the team and an offensive leader as well.
Yeah, I'd say I'm putting more of the pressure on myself to be a leader in terms of the clubhouse and off the field, and not as much offensively, because I know that kind of comes and goes, and we got other really talented players offensively that'll pick up for me. The days that I'm not as good, today I swung it well, but there's going to be, it could be tomorrow, it could be Sunday. There's going to be days where I don't swing it as well, and I know that we got a talented lineup of 9 guys and some more dudes on the bench that are going to be able to pick me up. So I'd say, I'm just trying to focus on more the leadership part. It's definitely a different group without some of those guys who've been here for the first 2 years. And definitely maybe a little bit of a different look on offense, a little less slug, maybe a little less pop, but we got some talented guys who can run and, put the ball in play and make stuff happen at line drives, and I think we're still going to score enough runs.
Do you set any goals for yourself individually this year, or is it more of a let's just win this thing?
Yeah, in the past, I've been a goal guy. This year, this summer, I'm trying to really just let it go and just play and see what happens every day. I think part of that's just, like I said, I don't really know what's next for me in terms of career-wise and life-wise, so I'm just playing a day at a time, and that's kind of really all I have is the next day in front of me. So I'm just trying to, roll with it, see what happens, and ultimately, for all the guys who were here last year, and I know the new guys too, but especially for the guys who were here last year, we just want to win it, win it all, because the organization treats us really, really well. They take great care of us, and we want to reward them with the championship, and we want to win it for ourselves too, but especially for them, because they put in a lot of hours for it.
I got to ask you about your little brother, because he used to be a bad boy back in Swift, I believe. What's he up to these days?
Yeah.
Is he a baseball player, a fan?
He's 9 now, so he's playing in Swift, he's playing AAA, 11U AAA, so no, he's big into it. Well, it's too bad, because it's harder for him to get out to watch us play now when he's got his own stuff going on. He was around a lot last year when he was just kind of starting playing himself, but now he's playing up a little bit more AAA, so he's busy, but he'll still be out this summer. I don't know if he'll get the bat boy or not, but he's real busy. Yeah, it's my guy. He keeps me level-headed, in those hard days. When I come back in the dugout last year, and I've been like, man, I just want to slam my bat, and I look over and I'm like, oh, there's bigger things, so yeah, no, that's my guy. I love him, and hope I can get out to see him pitch this summer.
Yeah. What's his name again?
Axton.
All right.
Yeah.
Shout
out to my brother Axton. Yeah.
There you go. It's funny too with siblings. Whether you're just kicking butt at the plate or having the worst day, they don't care.
Yeah, exactly. He always, I come home, and, we'll joke around just the same either way.
Yeah, family's family.
For sure.
Last question for you. You touched on it a bit. What would it mean to you to win a championship with the Berries this year?
Yeah, it would mean a ton. It's a great community, not just the guys on the team and the staff. I love the guys on the team, and the staff have been great to me, but the organization as a whole, the game day staff and, our ownership and everybody, executives, everybody, you can feel when you come to Cairns Field, everybody treats you really well, and they take great care of us, traveling and just day to day at the ballpark. And I think, those people working this all year round, trying to make it the best product you can, and especially, like I said,
The starting pitcher for the Berries was another Saskatchewan product who understood the meaning of the contest. Jackson Fox is coming off a solid season in Cloud County and enjoyed the atmosphere that Cardiff brought.
All right, Jackson, walk me through the experience today. You're a Saskatoon guy, you're a Saskatchewan guy. Getting the pitch in the Rural Roots Baseball Classic today. When did you find out that you were the starting pitcher for that?
I think I found out around Tuesday or Monday this week. Yeah.
What did that mean to you?
Oh, it's really cool. I mean, the amount of fans that showed up here, really cool experience. I mean, I never played here before. Did a really good job at this diamond. Yeah, I really liked it here.
Were you familiar with the area at all? Like, did you grow up playing like Estevan or any of those places?
I would have played Estevan before, but yeah, never been this far.
Yeah.
South, I don't think. No.
And then just tell me what was working. You were pitching really well today. I'm not sure. I didn't see your final line today, but it looked pretty good with the results.
Yeah, no, it felt good today. I mean, could land the off speed, which really helps. And that landed early really gives a good advantage against the hitter, and throw lots of strikes also helps a lot there.
Walk our listeners through a little bit of a scouting report for you. Tell us about your arsenal. What pitches do you have? How hard can you throw it? That kind of thing.
I mean, I throw a lot of fastballs, but also I love throwing my curveball too. I have a changeup also that works, and my fastball gets up to 91 around there. But yeah.
Nice. A few fun ones for you. Tell me about your favorite ballpark food.
Probably a hot dog. It's pretty hard to go wrong with a hot dog. I mean,
what are you putting on that?
I'm a plain guy, so just ketchup.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No mustard, eh?
No mustard. I'm not a big fan of mustard.
I'll
no.
try not to judge you for that. That's all good. Favorite baseball movie?
It's gotta be Major League, I think.
Good choice, solid choice. The sequels or just the main one?
Just the main one.
Yeah. Favorite ballpark that you've either been to or pitched in?
Kansas State University this year. There was a really cool ballpark there. It was really
Nice. And tell me about, leading into that, tell me about where you're coming from school. How did your season go? Were you used as a starter, reliever, all that stuff?
I played at Cloud County Community College, which is in the Jayhawk League in Kansas there. I didn't start at all really there. I started one game maybe, but I was more the closer there. I'd come in late in games and throw one inning at a time, so a lot different role. But
did they have any stories about Eric Zabrowski down there?
Oh, there's lots about him. Yeah, obviously him coming from there and going to the major leagues was a pretty big deal. So.
Yeah, well, heck of a pitcher and two-way player at the time as well.
Yeah.
And then last question for you: what would it mean to you to win a championship with the Berries this season?
Oh, it'd be really cool. I mean, we have so many supporters back home, which is like, I mean, can't thank them enough for they come out to the field and support us. So it'd be a pretty big deal.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, good luck this season.
On the other side, one of the driving forces behind bringing the Rural Roots Classic to Eastern Saskatchewan was Weyburn Beavers owner Garnet Hansen. He knew from the very beginning that the community would get behind it right from the get-go.
Garnet, actually, I want to ask you first of all, tell me about the jerseys you guys were wearing today. Those looked phenomenal.
Yeah, they really were, and I think you could thank Brittany working on the design. So they kind of pulled what is Cardiff, Saskatchewan. So they got an actual replica of the Cardiff elevator in the background, and a pump jack, which is big oil country here, and kind of put it together with the Saskatchewan sky, and they're fantastic.
Yeah, I thought they just looked really sharp, so kudos on that. Just talk to me about this experience. This is the second annual Rural Roots Baseball Classic, the first in Saskatchewan. When you do a game that's not at a regular ballpark, there's all manner of work that goes into it, things that can go wrong, things that you have to check ahead of time. Just tell me about that experience, getting this going.
And I think obviously a second time around they learned things last year that we didn't have to relearn. So I don't feel like there was a lot of hiccups really. The league learned from some things that they had to struggle with last year and got it right this year. And the minute we talked to Cardiff, they said we will do a good job, and they absolutely hit it out of the ballpark. I mean, it was a shitty weather day. Over right around 400 tickets sold here. And the 50-50 was good. So I don't think you can ask for any more other than a better game. But the crowd hung in right to the end.
Yeah.
And other than the weather, everything was fantastic.
What did you hear much from people in the community when you were talking to people, just feedback, just about just being here?
Well, I think it's a big deal. They're 2 hours away from the nearest WCBL team, which is Weyburn. And there was a buzz leading up to it that's, been the last month probably. Yeah. They were looking forward to this day. And good Saskatchewan people, you're not going to keep them, weather is not going to deter them from having a good time.
Well, they didn't have to do batting practice. That's the good thing, right? So,
yeah. No, it really was good. And, the community, if I had to come into a community, this has got to be my first choice. This is fantastic.
And then just talk to me about being the host for this, because there's a little bit added responsibility, I assume, but just the pride that you take in hosting this event.
Yeah, and I think we embrace that, and so did the local community. We have connections with the Trent Dorrance and the Blair Becks of the world, because there's kids that play with the Southeast Twins. It's a combination of kids from here, Estiman, and Weyburn. So, we had 3 kids that played on that team, last year and 2 years ago. So they know the kids, they know the people around here. So, there's that connection. So, to make, a AAA team, it takes the southeast corner of Saskatchewan to do that. And, so that Carter Beck come through that program. So there you go.
Garnet, congratulations on being a part of and the home team for the second annual Rural Roots Baseball Classic. Yeah. Just a great day at the ballpark. It's great to see you.
It really was. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
And we'll wrap things up with the driving force behind the whole operation. As Ian mentioned, there wasn't a conversation or a decision made without Blair Beck's fingerprints all over it. And he couldn't help but be all smiles after seeing his vision come to fruition.
Blair Beck, just give me a sense, we're here, it's happened. I know there was a lot of excitement and pride coming into this event. Now that you're here, what are the feelings and emotions and seeing it all come about?
Now we can be prouder. It came together really well. We were doing the opening ceremonies, we got done, and I looked around and I'm just like, man, we did it. And everything has gone into place as good as we could have hoped. Obviously maybe the wind could be a little less, but we're really proud of the work our facility puts in all the time to give us a chance to host things like this, and I just couldn't be prouder of everybody involved.
I was going to say, there's some adversity to start the day,
yeah.
Right? Like we had, I showed up when BP was happening, and a bit of a dust bowl for the batters, a little bit of challenge there. And then, as you mentioned, the fire department shows up and helps out with wetting the infield. Just walk me through maybe some of the jitters you might have had earlier on.
Well, that wind was really, really gross, I'm not going to lie. And I wish it would have been better for the guys in batting practice, but they fought through it pretty good and didn't complain too much. And then it just becomes a small town thing where you get the fire truck out without one quick question, and guys come in to put water on the gravel road so the dust isn't there, and just all the things that come place. That part of being in a small town that is very community centered, and everybody comes out and does what they need to do to make something to be successful.
Fast forward to opening pitch, opening ceremonial pitch, and the first pitch of the game, and the game underway. What was it like to just see it actually come to fruition?
Well, how cool is that? A 98-year-old guy got on the diamond and threw a pitch to his 4-year-old great nephew. It's that's pretty cool for me, and that meant a lot. And then just having that whole thing, and just I had a little moment there on the field where we did it, and we did it well, and we did it to our standards, which are always pretty high.
Talk to me about just bringing the Western Canadian Baseball League to this community. We had I don't know what the official number is on attendance, but it's well attended, it looks like. But just letting the community see this brand of baseball.
Absolutely, and obviously the things Carter's done in the last couple of years have really grown the WCBL brand in this area, and everybody's excited has been excited the last 2 years to go watch him play and follow him and do the things, but then just come out and see it's great baseball out here. And maybe the game tonight isn't as good as could be hoped, but it's great baseball players, and there's guys that are going to go on to do great things.
scoreboard's one aspect of it, right? You still get, you still get some great pitching performances on one
Absolutely.
side and some great hits and all that. What is it like going through the bleachers and through the community? And I'm sure you've had some comments throughout your way. What are people saying to you?
Yeah, everybody's real happy. They're really excited that things have gone well, and just everybody has a sense of pride, and we take a lot of pride in doing things right here. And I think everybody feels that we did that again.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about Carter. I know he's heading into draft. There's maybe some things he can't share with this process, but what can you share with where he's at heading into the draft and just the excitement around that as well?
Well, it's so cool. Like, I mean, we're standing here in Cardiff, and this is where he grew up, and this is where he played, and yeah, it's it's something else. And he's he was in St. Louis the other day hitting on the field at Busch Stadium. Like, that's crazy. And he's going to Toronto, and he's going to hit in the field at the Sky Dome with the Blue Jays. And those are things I could have never imagined 4 or 5 years ago. Like, we always knew he was good.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we ever knew he was going to be at this kind of level. So, yeah, we're super proud of him always, and it's pretty cool.
Carter sent out the video promoting this event.
Yeah.
I'm sure you had some conversations with him about it. I know he would have loved to have been here.
He would have loved to have been here.
What was his discussions with you about? Were you ever like, oh, geez, I got to get the field ready? And was he like, I can't believe that this is happening in my hometown?
Yeah, like he sent me a text this morning. He was like, send me all kinds of pictures, show me everything, and show me what's going on. I talked to this morning, and I know he's been talking to some of the guys. I talked to some of the Saskatoon guys he played with, and some of the Weyburn guys, Dax Brown, Keaton Husband, he played minor ball with. He'd love to be here. He tried to find a way to be here, but it just wasn't feasible at this time. So, and if he didn't have the things going on, he'd be here.
Yeah. Blair, congratulations on pulling this off. A great event. It's great for the league, great for the community. It's so fun to be here and see it in action. So congrats on that.
Well, thank you. And we just want to say thank you to WCBL and the Weyburn Beavers and the Saskatoon Berries. I mean, I know we're kind of out of the way, and I know they took a little bit of a risk maybe coming here, but I hope everybody walks out of here feeling pretty proud of, pretty happy with the event. So,
awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
A big thanks again to Ethan Murdoch, Jackson Fox, Garnet Hansen, and Blair Beck for joining us, and a tip of the cap again to Ian for his outstanding coverage of the game on social and through the photo gallery. You can check that out at SaskatchewanDugoutStories.com. And really, the biggest standing ovation of all goes to the community of Cardiff for setting the bar very high for next year's event. As mentioned, I'll have a brand new editorial up on our websites in the next day or two on where I think the next one could be held. Also to come this week, our coverage of Baseball Canada's Road to Okotoks Prairie qualifier. Sunday's semis and final were rained out, so as we record this, some big decisions are still to come on how they'll decide who to send to Okotoks. Vauxhall has already punched their ticket, while 2 spots were still to be decided between Baseball Sask, AHP Academy, and Gulls Prep. We'll get a podcast episode and story ready for you as soon as those decisions are made, along with a wrap-up of the teams coming from the BC and Ontario qualifiers. As always, a tip of the cap to our Platinum supporters, the Okotoks Dogs, Under the Lights Sports and Entertainment, and the Western Canadian Baseball League for their generosity in helping us tell the game stories in our province. For more on our tremendous teammates, head to albertadugoutstories.com/supporters. Until next time, thank you for all of your support online, on social, and on air of Alberta Dugout Stories.